If you're Jewish, I don't understand why you'd get in cahoots with the people that want to kill you. What would happen to a gay couple in Gaza?
Executed according to Islamic law. Islam doesn't endorse gayism. Islam doesn't endorse homosexuality.
Okay, so would you like to see Sharia law in Canada replace Canadian law?
At some point it will. You know, because we have families, we are making babies. You're not.
Donald Trump is a goof. He's the biggest goof on earth.
Oh, why is that, sir?
Because he doesn't know nothing about nothing.
Well, isn't this special? The annual hate fest known as Quds Day is off and running in Toronto yet again, even though the City of Toronto said it wasn't going to tolerate hate speech on its property. Indeed, folks, last month a series of motions were approved by Council in conjunction with the Toronto Police. If protesters occupy city property without a permit, the city will issue trespass warnings and seek reimbursement for policing costs. Well, guess what? This group does not have a permit, and this group is most certainly not paying the cost of policing. It really is a double standard at play here, isn't it? I mean, if this was any other group, it would seem, the police would crack down, the city would enforce its own bylaws, but apparently, because it's radical Islam, they dare not lift a finger. Anyways, we're going to attempt to go into the crowd and speak to some of the rocket scientists here and find out what it is that brings them out, assuming they're able to actually articulate their opinions, that is. We'll find out. What do you make of the fact that just last month, Toronto City Council passed a resolution that if you don't have a permit, you cannot protest on city property, and if you do, you're going to be responsible for the policing costs? Well, there's no permit. I would be shocked if they're sent a bill for all these police you see here today. Why is the city turning a blind eye?
That's a question that we're asking. You know, a few minutes ago, the police drove all the pro-Israel protesters, literally herded us like cattle with their bicycles all the way across to the other side under the guise of safety. Safety would be had if they wouldn't have this happening anyways. It's illegal. Shouldn't be happening. It's hate speech. If they wouldn't let this happen, they wouldn't have to worry about my safety.
So here we got the de rigueur bleeding babies. Zionism equals racism. Calling Israel an apartheid state. None of this passes muster, of course, but it doesn't stop them from doing this because, like I said, when it comes to propaganda, the Palestinians have no equal. Too bad they can't export it. They would be one of the wealthiest nations in the world in terms of GDP. Can you give an example of something the Rebel has reported that is fake news?
What?
Can you give an example, sir, of something the Rebel has reported that is fake?
Wait, I don't get what you mean.
You're saying that we are fake news. I am asking you, sir, give me an example of fake news.
Can I ask you something? Can I ask you something?
I've asked you a question. Why don't you answer?
I haven't asked you anything.
No, give me an answer to that question.
Let me ask you. Why do you look like Donald Trump?
Why do I look like Donald Trump?
Answer that.
That comment brought the house down, folks. What do you think of Donald Trump moving the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem?
Donald Trump is a goof. He's the biggest goof on earth.
Oh, why is that, sir?
Because he doesn't know nothing about nothing.
He doesn't know nothing about nothing.
No, he doesn't know nothing.
I think you actually used a triple negative there. He doesn't know nothing about nothing.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything. He's a dumb.
Okay, that's better. You corrected the grammar. Thank you.
You know about if go on Google and Google the word idiot. You know what's gonna come out?
What?
Come out a picture of Donald Trump that looks just like you. Really? Yes.
Wow.
You gotta do it right now on Google.
What would happen to a gay couple in Gaza?
Executed according to Islamic law. Islam doesn't endorse gayism. Islam doesn't endorse homosexuality.
Okay, so would you like to see Sharia law in Canada replace Canadian law?
At some point it will. You know, because we have families, we are making babies. You're not. Your population is going down the slump. That's right? Yeah. By 2060, Muslims will be the biggest religious group the world over. Right. What are you going to do then?
Actually,
are you going to oppose Sharia even then?
If you see this man, do not speak to him, okay? Sir, this is very serious. What's so funny?
I thought you were one of the only guys who was not fake news.
Guys, what do you make of, I mean, last month we had Toronto City Council saying unless you have a permit, we're not going to tolerate hatred on City of Toronto property, and you're going to be responsible for the cost of policing. That's not happening here today.
Who's giving them the invoice? I want to know who's giving them the invoice.
I don't think the invoice exists, sir.
Right, because you've got a lot of police out here watching them, and they told us when we pulled up on our bikes that we need to move. I said, you move the people without a permit first. I'll be more than happy to move my bike. I've got better things to do than be here today.
Tory, he's a disappointment, unfortunately. He talks out of one end of his mouth. He does quite the opposite. So he's quite happy to just let the police sit down here and just try to control the traffic. And he doesn't care about permits, he's not taking a political stand. He's just saying, okay, guys, do whatever you want. We'll pay the bill.
So this is absolutely incredible, folks. They don't have a permit to gather on city property, and they're supposed to be paying for police services, which they won't be. And now they are actually getting a police escort for their march. I mean, this does not compute. This is a major thoroughfare in downtown Toronto. And like I said, this isn't the Santa Claus parade. It's not the St. Patrick's Day parade. It's not the Gay Pride parade. But they're being acquiesced to. I wonder why that is. I think any other group is not getting an escort. They're getting a chauffeur-driven visit to the precinct via the paddy wagon. Do you have a permit?
I don't want to talk to you.
Do you have a permit?
It's your business. Go to the police.
Really? It's none of my business.
It's not your business.
Do you have a permit, sir?
It's none of your business.
Oh, I think it is. This is a public street. I live here, sir. I was born in Canada. And you don't have a permit.
Go file a complaint.
You don't have a permit, do you? I'm harassing him?
Harassing me.
Officer, I'm asking him if he has a permit.
You're in the way, sir. Excuse me.
What is this Sharia law?
Back up, please. Thank you.
Where is their permit?
Thank you.
Where is their permit? What are you doing, bashing me with your bicycle? Are you kidding me?
What are you guys doing?
How come they? This is amazing. They don't have a permit, and you're escorting them. This is against the law, sir. How do I make a citizen's arrest? That is amazing. I mean, they shouldn't be shutting down an entire street, and they are. And the cops are turning on us, the messenger. Well, I guess this is a very sad day in Toronto's history. They're completely being aided and abetted by the police. That's perhaps the saddest sight you'll ever see. Orthodox Jews who do not believe that Israel should exist, marching with the very people that would incinerate them if they had their way. Absolutely incredible. I think Lenin had a word for these guys. Useful idiots. Hey, how are you doing there, sir? Why are you marching in this hateful parade? If you're Jewish, I don't understand why you'd get in cahoots with the people that want to kill you. A little tongue-tied, eh? So tell me, can you articulate your position, sir? You don't believe in the state of Israel, perhaps? And you wear the flag of Palestine around your neck? What do your fellow Jews think about somebody like you, sir? Well, I guess Cat got his tongue. He can't answer a question. How do you explain insanity anyways? How do you explain marching with the very people who despise you, who would want you killed? And of course, hey, hi guys. Sorry you're not playing. Oh, they're training them young. As I say in the marketing business, get them young, get them forever.
I know, I recognize you. Come here every year, trying to twist the story, trying to get little sound bites that you could put on your YouTube that has 1,000 followers.
Actually, over 1.2 million. There's another inaccuracy you're preaching, sir.
1.2 million? Really? That's good. That's good.
It looks like a gentleman with a flag of Israel is being pressured by a police officer to, I don't know, put a burqa over it because he might be inciting these fine intellectuals marching illegally up University Avenue.
Palestine!
Yes. Oh, the sucker punch specialist. Yeah. You know what? I thought this guy would show up, and you know what? Like last year, we're about to hit a construction site. This is when he usually strikes, when the police are obscured from the line of sight. So, sir, are you going to try to sucker punch me again? Sir? Sir? Keep the camera rolling here, Mr. Cameraman.
You're too close to me. I don't want to talk. Can you please move this?
Sweet looking cutie!
You know, you got really close to me with your fist last year, so I'm just curious why this is an invasion of your space now, sir. Not so tough when the mounted unit is behind us, eh? Yeah, I figured that. Oh, well. Now, this is interesting, folks. We are passing by the Masjid Toronto. This is, of course, a hate-spewing mosque. We've had an imam on several occasions spewing hatred. I guess everyone's too busy spewing hatred on the outside to spew hatred on the inside. No one's going in for prayers. That's too bad. Maybe they can make a U-turn and double back. Oh, and here's the de rigueur frumpy feminist holding a Palestinian flag. I wonder what her women's rights would be like in that part of the world. Everybody loves a parade, folks. I remember as a little boy standing on this street watching the Santa Claus parade come by. My favorite was the upside down clowns. How fitting, because now we're living in an upside down world. As you can see, tax-paying Canadians stuck in traffic, not because of construction, not because of a snowstorm, but because these guys are having an illegal march down Bay Street. Once again, the makers are being penalized for the takers. Welcome to Canada.
Fake news, liar.
You know what, folks, really, this is actually sad. Using children as a prop. But then again, in Gaza, they'll use a child as a suicide bomber. You know, it reminds me of the Golda Meir quote about peace in the Middle East, that until the Palestinians love their children more than they hate the Jews, then maybe we'll have peace. But I take no relish or joy in that. I just hate to see a child, maybe 3.5, 4 years old, being used as a propaganda tool right here in Canada in 2019. Just absolutely shameful. Anyways, we're marching past City Hall. I think John Tory is hiding behind the skirt of his secretary right now. He has not made an appearance to condemn this. And does that come as a surprise to anyone? I think I picked up a carton of milk the other day, had a photograph on the side. It was John Tory's spine. Anyone seen it? Well, folks, once again, welcome to Justin Trudeau's Canada 2019, where the pursuit of diversity is all about harboring those individuals who are hateful and who even disrespect our laws. And if this is not enough Islamofascism for you, have no fear. The Justin Trudeau Liberals are increasing the quota every single day of the week. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, the Rebel has a new app. Please download that app and take the Rebel with you wherever you go.